The impact of Oppenheimer is a tale as old as time. Once upon a time, in 2020, when COVID was wiping out half of humanity, Warner Brothers decided to release all of their films coming out in 2021 exclusively on HBO Max on the same day as it was released in theaters. Christopher Nolan, who's been working with Warner Brothers since Insomnia, didn't like this decision and decided that after he was done with Tenet, his next film, Oppenheimer, would be released with Universal Pictures instead. Warner Brothers has a competition that they need to go against because they found out that Oppenheimer was coming out on July 21st, 2023. So they decided to bring in their big guns. The film that they decided that was going to compete against Oppenheimer was Coyote vs. Acma. You know, the Roadrunner and Coyote cartoons from Looney Tunes shorts. Was going to be a movie starring John Cena and was going to be produced by James Gunn. This was going to be an interesting film to go against Oppenheimer. But wait, the film isn't out yet. In fact, as I'm recording this, it still isn't out. In order to replace the slot, they decided to get one of their other IP films instead. And what did they choose? They chose Barbie! Barbie was in development for a while. It was going to be from Universal Pictures, then Sony Pictures, then Warner Brothers. It was a fight of the century over the IP. And Amy Schumer was going to play as Barbie and was going to be a pro-feminist film with a raunchy message just like her other shitty film that she was starring in before. So they decided to scrap it and decided to get Margot Robbie as the leading character of Barbie and Greta Gerwig as the director and co-writer with her husband. Now that the release date is lined up, will these two films change cinema? Or will they destroy it forever? Barbenheimer was a success. The reason by that success was the marketing campaign against the two. See, Barbie was a more colorful film, while Oppenheimer was dark and gritty. And the marketing campaign was just beyond insane. It ended up becoming a meme because people wanted to go see two polar opposite movies because it was just funny that way. Here's my review of Oppenheimer. I think it's a great film. Probably one of Christopher Nolan's best films since Inception. Such a historical biopic drama that dives deep into the crater of the nuclear bomb. You see an all-star cast. You see some really cool filmmaking techniques. You see a nude scene. You see a sex scene. You see a scene with Josh Peck from Drake and Josh.
It's spherical! Spherical!
You see a scene with Huey from The Boys. You see a scene with one of the Safdie brothers. Cillian Murphy as Oppenheimer nails it, but Robert Downey Jr. actually stole the show. I didn't really recognize him, but his performance was probably one of his best since Iron Man. This film is 3 hours long, a 3-hour movie about the guy who made the atomic bomb. I will say this, the pacing at the first 2 hours and 15 minutes actually went really well. But after the Manhattan Project, the pacing went a little bit slow, and that was one of my biggest problems. As well as some of the sound mixing was a little distracting. What I mean by the sound mixing, and this is a problem with a lot of other Nolan films, there are moments where the dialogue and the sound effects just clash with each other. Sometimes you can't hear the person speaking because it's just too loud. But overall, I just gotta say, Oppenheimer is a great film. Go check it out, and I give Oppenheimer an 8 out of 10. Now let's go to the other film, the existential crisis film, Barbie. I gotta say, I did not expect to go see Barbie in theater. I was just excusing it as another generic IP film. But then when I heard Greta Gerwig was the director and co-writer, I knew I had to go see it. And man, my expectations just blew me away. Barbie is an amazing film. In fact, it's probably a filmmaker's wet dream with all the filmmaking technique and magic, with the whole practical production designs of Barbie world. It's just incredible. It feels like I'm living in a toy. Actors move like dolls. Just so funny to see how their performance reflects that. It feels like a kid's actually playing with toys and affecting it in the real world. Don't explain to me about the logic because it's super campy and they do make fun of it. They jab it. There's a lot of like self-aware humor that's more towards the mature crowd. This is not a kid's movie. They say penis and vagina, and they say fuck once. I liked how the film actually pokes fun at the Barbie commercials I used to watch a lot as a kid. I didn't grow up with Barbie. I knew some people that like Barbie a lot that ended up actually burning and blowing up their Barbie dolls, like Oppenheimer. Margot Robbie is Barbie. Has the legs of Barbie, has the looks of Barbie. She is the embodiment of Barbie. My only problem with her performance is that there was one point in the movie where her Australian accent was a bit distracting, but it was only like just a few seconds, then it got back to normal. One of the greatest performances in all of cinema history that has just revolutioned cinema once again was Ryan Gosling as Ken. I love Ryan Gosling. Every time I look at Ryan Gosling, I'm just looking at myself in the mirror. He's just all over the place. He is the embodiment of Ken. And his scenes were a scene stealer. He probably was even better than Margot Robbie as Barbie. There's also a lot of different Barbies and Kens in the movie, but it's mainly an odyssey journey about Barbie just self-discovering herself and why she's been experiencing with all these existential crises that she's been going through lately, believing that she lives in this idolized perfect world where women rule and all the Kens chill at the beach. But then when she goes into the real world, she realizes that it's not like that. It really changed the way she thinks about everything. One scene I really like with the production design is when they focus on the Mattel building, and the way it's designed and filmed and framed reminded me a lot of the Holy Mountain in Playtime, which is insane for Greta Gerwig to take some of those inspiration from. This is a pink-ass movie. There's so much pink in this movie that they ran out of pink. Pink, pink, pink. I really like the message that Greta Gerwig delivered. Overall, go watch Barbie. Such an amazing movie. I give it a 9 out of 10. Barbenheimer is just JoJo Bizarre Adventures. With all the colorful lights and glamorous, I feel like I was watching a JoJo anime. I was there when it happened. It feels like the last time where cinema feels very successful. We're gonna be seeing a weird moment in the next few months where this writer and actor strike is gonna leave a huge impact on the entertainment industry. Watching Oppenheimer and Barbie feels more of a hurrah, send-off to the entirety of movie-making magic. Who knows, maybe we'll see another Barbenheimer in the future or something similar to that. We'll see two polar opposite movies duking out. People are gonna decide which one's better. Winner of Barbenheimer is Barbie. Sorry, Oppenheimer, you're such a great film, but I just gotta go with Barbie. It's more of a colorful, fun feature with a lot of cool filmmaking techniques. Let me know what y'all think. Do you like Barbie or Oppenheimer, or do you like both? Which one have you seen? And I'll see you in the next video. Take care.